What's up, everybody, to another episode of Sakura, the most useless talk show about anime and gaming. I am your host, Deez, and as always, we are joined by NoGoodTsunax, and our special guest for today is GABFIVE. Gab, what's up?
Hey!
Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Okie dokie. I am a New York City born and raised locale, and I stream full-time on Twitch. I play all the games, mainly Valorant, which I'm pretty bad at, but I could heal you. And I am a gigantic weeb. I go by Taco Otaku, and yeah, don't talk shit about that name. I really like it. And yeah, that's about it. That's me in a nutshell. Anime, games, sleep.
So today we're gonna be talking about so I hit up Gab and I was like, you know what? You'll be dope to get on the show. Like, you're freaking amazing. You know I'm always popping in here and there because you stream when I'm at work, so that's pretty convenient for me. But you wanted to talk about titty anime and how is a gateway drug. It's a hentai. That's what you chose.
Taking the words right out of my mouth, man. Took my title. Took my title. Like, on my gravestone, it's just gonna be like lover of fine things, good wine, and titty anime.
No, I'm gonna be honest, dude. I watched a lot of like fan servicey or ecchi anime, titty anime, but that was never my gateway. I think I started watching hentai because of you. You were talking about it in your stream, and then I was like, I never watched it, and you were like, these slide in my DMs, I got you, and then you sent me a website and everything, and I was like, okay,
yeah.
You sent me a couple things, and then I was like, you know what, I like this. This is good. This is good. So you were my gateway drug, Gab.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I feel better knowing that I was your gateway drug to hentai than knowing, like, when I was younger that I was, like, certain people's gateway drug to, like, cigarettes, you know what I mean? I was like, no, guys, seriously, Marlboro Reds are where it's at. Like, smoke this. Like, I'm going to hell for that. But, for hentai, I don't feel as bad.
Yo, so you wouldn't feel as bad as sending me a link to so I can do my own research?
I got you. I got the links, man. I got the links.
Wholesome hentai, though. I don't want none of the octopus stuff,
Ow! Oh, I just smashed my mic. Hold up. You don't want the what? Doof, just pounded. Okay, so yeah.
SAKURA likes a lot of lollies.
I ship this stuff. Okay, so hang on, wait. Oh, green screen.
Yep.
So we have the hentai here. We have the hentai apparel. We have the hentai money. You know what I mean? I believe in hentai. Like, if it was a politician, man, I would ship the hell out of them. Like, I believe in it. I think it's good for the soul. But yeah.
All right. So look for lollies and send it to TSUNA.
Lolly? Okay.
Oh, that is not my thing. Don't listen to him. He's lying.
No. It's okay.
Okay, TSUNA, it's okay.
That is not
thing like that.
TSUNA, it's good. We're not judging, dude. Everybody has their.
It's not my thing.
Different things.
There's that cute one with the little blonde girl. What's her name?
Yeah, there you go. Think. TSUNA needs this.
They're all blonde. All little lollies are blonde.
What is the best anime you watched? I can say, like, in overall or and also I guess ecchi wise.
Just overall anime, regular.
Overall, what's your best anime you
on.
watched?
Okay. Code Geass.
Wait, damn! I haven't seen too much of it, but I love Code Geass. I haven't seen too much of it. I'm sorry. That's one of the anime I need to go back and finish.
No, dude, Code Geass is absolutely everything. C2 is my girl. I have 8,000 figures of her. Everything about that show is just like good gravy. The best thing there is in animation. Not the best thing there is in animation. Let me rephrase that. Because animation, goes far and beyond Code Geass. But like, as far as just anime goes, like, no matter what you're into, they have it.
I think for me it would be Naruto would be overall.
Yeah.
And as far as like,
couldn't tell.
Oh yeah.
You have that on still.
Still got it on from the last freaking episode. Oh my god. All right. So yeah, Naruto, and I would have to say High School DxD.
Ooh.
High School DxD would be my favorite ecchi one. I know, Suna. I can already tell. Suna likes. I'm gonna say this for you, Suna. All right. Favorite all time is Hitman Reborn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And for ecchi, testament of the new sister jump.
No, it is not. I'm so tired of this. The only ecchi anime I could say that I like is also High School DxD, but it's not. It's not really for the ecchi. It's for the character and the comedic value that it has.
It's for the boost, right?
For the
Right?
boost.
Boost. Oh,
Oh, especially bro, that scene. I know that. I'm pretty sure everybody's seen it. That scene where he's like, they were trying to convince him to power up. I forget. I think it was their Zex or whatever. He's like, he's going to shrink Ria's breast, and he's like, not Ria's breast. Boost, 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 boost.
that man goes, I think, 23 times. Yes.
Yo, these that was one of my favorite parts too. That shit was dope.
Yeah, that's the kind of ecchi that I like to watch. The comedic value of it. I can't say I'm a big fan of like fan service stuff. I like it. Like I don't like it, but like if it's there, I don't mind it. But if it's not like overly like thrown in your face all the time, like it's fine to be there every now and then for me. Like it's cool. But if it's like thrown in your face, like literally every chance they
It's
get,
the whole show. Yeah.
yeah, it's the whole show, then I can't rock with that. That shit is too much. Yeah.
I think it's got like the most character development, you know what I mean? And it's got the least like obnoxiously thrown in your face while still being obnoxiously thrown in your face fan service. You know? If that makes any sense. Like there's so much there. Like I have the DVDs, man, because I wanted to see Nips. And it's so good. But at the same time, I have watched so many like, you know, shows in the same realm as that, and I'm just like bored. I'm so bored. And it's like just either take your clothes off or develop a plot. Pick one. You know? It's
Have you seen what's this shit? Do you love your mom and her
the super dumbbells that she lifts and all that, or the
Well, that's another one. I haven't seen that one, but this one's called
the double hit attack thing, right?
Yeah, the multi-combo
yes!
2-hit.
Yes.
Yeah. That's really good. I know a lot of people turned off about it because it has like it sexualizes the mom and shit, but it's like it's not my mom. But I love that one.
Everywhere should aspire to have those titties. You know what I mean? Like, if anything, it should be a goal show. Like, ain't nothing bad about it. My ex made me watch a little bit of that, and he doesn't watch any fan service. He's, you know, we're great friends. We're in anime. You know what I mean? That's like our thing, right? So, like, I would have never watched Darling in the Franxx probably if it weren't for him being like, you gotta watch the show. You gotta watch the show. And now, that's my girl. You know what I mean? Like, that's my girl. But for someone who hates fan service, this dude loved that show. And so I watched it. It was good. Not too much in your face, just enough in your face. I don't know. It was good. It was good. It was weird. Again, like you said, the mom thing. Like, if you're watching, like, hentai and shit like that, and they're, like, you know, they're boinking their sisters, it's like, they're all stepsisters. And then the stepmom comes in. I'm like, nope, off. You know what I mean? I don't do moms, man. I don't do moms. But that show, it was tasteful. It was funny.
See, I was gonna say that's probably the same thing with me and DxD. Is like, damn, like okay, I all these titties, right? But the fact that it has like a character that's going through character development, it's not like these other like hentais where there's like some random bullshit power up. Like you see Issei training throughout most of the show, right? Like he's obtaining his power. He's developing character development. It's not just titties the entire time. Although his main source of like power comes from harems and titties or whatever, but like at least it's not like a random power up out of nowhere. Oh, by the way, did I forget to mention my great grandfather was a devil and now I have this mean power up out of nowhere? Yeah. Like it's not a straight ass pull power up. So you know what? Right. I can enjoy it. And then a lot of comedy of it. That's really my main focus for it. Is I want to see it. Now I'm invested. At first it might have been for the titties, but now I want to see, is Issei gonna get his harem? What is he doing? Is he just gonna go with one and then call it one and done? Like I hope he goes down that route, but if he goes for the harem, then hey, whatever. And it's like all the comedy that comes with it. I want to see it. That's it. That's all I want.
Who do you want to see him with? If like I know you said like you know harem, not harem, I don't care. But like if you, both of you guys, if Issei had a really just you know
had to pick one.
Yeah, who would it be?
All right, mine would be for selfish reasons. I would want him to go with Rias so I could have Akino.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I can't argue that. I can't.
Oh boy. For me, like, if he went with Asya, I wouldn't mind it. but I kind of want to see him with Ria's because like a lot of the power ups and like their like little bond that they have together. Like she wants him to call him by her name and stuff, and like I could see it, you know. And then that kiss at the end of the first season and stuff, I was like, okay, all right, I'm with this. But I know that Asya also really likes Issei, and Issei has a lot of respect for her too, and like likes her as well. So I'm just like, for me, it's either one. But if I had to go, I go with Team Riaz. But that's not even the best girl on the show, so I don't know why we're talking about this. We're talking about Akino here, best girl on the show. That's
all right.
my favorite. So.
I thought you were gonna say Gasper.
No. Why you shut?
That's a sensitive one there. Yeah.
No, I think he would get it. If I was him, I would definitely go for all of them, except for Koneko.
Really?
So you okay with Gasper then?
I don't like Koneko. Well, oh yeah, Gasper. Yeah, Gasper too.
There was that arc in the shitty seasons, you know, like once the show starts getting like very poo poo, and it's just like, do you guys want to see some titties and a little bit of Issei? And it's just like, what was that, like season 3, 4, something like that? You know what I mean? Born or something like that. Those
one
seasons.
of the newer ones where they switch studios and shit like that,
Yeah.
and they stopped showing the nipples and shit.
Yep. And Kaneko had like her own arc, you know, where her family and her sister and all this stuff, and it's like,
was like mean and shit.
Yeah, she's horrible, and you know, you just find her up in a tree, and like Issei was trying to like appeal to her like better judgment. She was being super sweet, and like I was like, yo, this girl is it, you know. But at the same time, it's like, if it was like, excuse my language, but if it was like kill, marry, fuck, I would say, like, get head from your girl, and get head from Hakano, and kill her, and then like fuck Kaneko, just so you could be like, I did a cat girl, I did it, and then marry Rias. Like that's how I would go about it.
So yeah, I know you made that whole thing up right there, but you just can't be adding things. You said fuck, marry, kill. You can't say get head and then kill her. Like, you just have to kill her, dude.
Why not?
You can't get head and kill her. That's not the rules of fuck, marry, kill. Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh my god! But the scene with the finger and the stuff that they did.
No,
remember?
but you have to kill her. You can't get head from her. You just have to kill her.
But
no.
I mean, maybe
it's against the rules.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe like the whole scene with the finger can happen, and while it's going on, you just chop her head off, bro. What are your favorite games? And I'm pretty sure, it would give me an insight into what you play. You said at the beginning of the stream, like all the pew pew pow pow games. All right, so you said Call of Duty, Fortnite, Overwatch. Those are the ones that I'm thinking of. Any other games that you play? Like any games, like just anything. Like what are your type of games?
So
like,
I'll rank them. I'll do my timeline. I'll do my timeline for you real quick, right? Okay. So I started around like 14, 15 with World of Warcraft. I was introduced to that. That was like my life. I will be a Blizzard fangirl until the day I die, even though I hate Activision now and the merger and everything. But I will always love Blizzard games, except for StarCraft. I'm really bad at StarCraft. So WoW was incredible. Then I went and played Diablo. Diablo was incredible. I played StarCraft. StarCraft was terrible. Then I went and I moved on to like what was coming next, right? So Overwatch came. Or no, Overwatch came, I think, after. Heroes of the Storm came first. I think we're looking at 2015, and then Overwatch was maybe Overwatch came first. Whichever came first. Yeah. So Overwatch was incredible. I loved Overwatch right away. I never played a game where I was like shooting stuff. You know what I mean? I didn't like the gunsy characters, but I liked like the more like magical characters because that's what I played. A mage, dude. I play wizards. I play casters. I play magical DPS. Like that's my role. In any game that I can be that in. I also like healing. But I think that's a very stigmatized thing also, which we could talk about later, where like girls have to heal. You know what I mean? Like, and guys have to tank and like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then I moved on to Heroes of the Storm. When Heroes of the Storm came out, it changed everything for me. I never played a MOBA before. I was never particularly good at a game before, and I got nasty at that game. I played it from technical alpha until literally this week. Like, I'm still playing that game. It's my favorite game of all time. I love it because it's got every Blizzard character ever, more or less, you know. And despite the pro scene being like canceled and the player base like being like pretty much cut in half because of like the disappointment in that, I think it's still got like a lively community. It's still updated. They still push content for it. It's such a good game. It's so fun. You know, it's like League of Legends without all the nonsense and the stress and the loneliness of laning for 40 minutes by yourself. It's great. It's just an incredible game. And I made a ton of friends playing it, which I'm not social very much so, you know what I mean? Especially in games, I'm very quiet. If they're like, yo, you got mics? It's like, yeah. You know, A, I don't want to know I'm a girl, and B, I just don't like talking to people. But Heroes of the Storm, that first week of alpha, I still talk to the people I played with. You know what I mean? In that first week. I made so many friends, so much so that 2 years ago, I organized like a Heroes meetup for like our team in Miami. That's where like 2 of the kids were from. So I was like, screw it. Like, you know what I mean? We're all East Coast. Like, we all met up and flew down, and we all hung out for like a couple days, and it was just so lit, dude. Like, just being with your team, like IRL, you know what I mean? And doing crazy shit. It was so cool. And I love that game. I will always love it for what it's like done for me. But for right now, I'm playing, my rotation is Valorant, Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm. I don't really play COD so much. I play Fortnite when I'm like super bored and I'm like streaming and I'm like, yo, I'm falling asleep, guys. I got like 2 games in me. I want to play something quick and colorful that'll like hold my attention. Play a little Fortnite. But that's about it right now, I think.
Okay. Let me add to that last one. So when you say 2 games real quick, is it safe to say like you go off the bus, don't get a gun and die?
No. That was the first year of Fortnite, you know?
Yeah, okay.
Now I usually get a gun and max out my mats, have an incredible loadout, and then die. Gold score!
Oh,
Yeah,
these little kids in this game are so irritating. I love the game, but I cannot play it anymore. There's no such thing as a casual scene. You fight pro players, the World Cup players, and casuals.
Yep. I will play duos as long as I'm playing with someone really good, because duos get so sweaty. And I will play squads as long as I have at least 3 people with me, 2 of whom are reliable, you know, like really good and reliable. And I won't play with like randoms if I can help it. The other day I just did it for fun on stream. I was like, let's do a couple, you know, random squads, because I have had in the past, like, you know, good games with randoms where they're just like, they carried me to a dub, and I was like, yo, this is lit. Like, you guys are great. Thanks. Bye. Never talk to you again. You know, which is just how it goes. But the odds of that happening are like 1 in 18 trillion, you know? And the kids in that game, the kids and the people playing music off like AM radios or something, and just the general toxicity, like where they drop as soon as you could drop off the bus, they just drop, die instantly, or they ping like, you know, I'm gonna go drop right in the center at the agency or the whatever it's called now.
Yeah.
Die instantly, and it's just like and then they're like, yo, you guys suck, dick, and it's like, and then they just leave, and it's like, okay.
I can't get into it. I think I stopped playing it. I used to play Fortnite a lot, but the building got too out of control for me. I suck at building, like boots on the ground. Like, I did play Apex after that, but I didn't really like. I stick more now on Warzone, but like the building and took me off of Fortnite. You ever see these TikToks where it's like this guy's running, like pretending he's playing Fortnite. He's like, all right, guys, we're going to the storm behind us. All right, I think I hear a guy, and then like he mashes the button. He's like, all right, I'm on top of the sky and shit like that. I can't get into it. Pretty accurate.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually look that up. That sounds fire. Yeah, no, I completely get what you're saying. It's hard, it's sweaty. I'm a big fan of carries. I'm not a good builder, and the day that I learned to like crank a 90 was probably one of the most like incredible days of my life. Like, some people are like, I graduated with my master's. I'm like, I can crank a 90. Like, it's so lit, dude. Like, it's so exciting being able to get to that like level. You know what I mean? And then being able to just like stack them. Whew. But editing and like that like rapid what? What'd you just do? Like, my friends can do this shit, and like they can play arenas and they can, you know, whew, I can't do that. That's like too much work. Way too much work for like too little reward, you know?
How is it different in the voice comms for a female? Because I know I have a couple close friends who play like Call of Duty and everything, and as soon as they turn on their mics, it's just, you know, bitch, or like get in the kitchen and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like even as far as like my wife plays games and she has to play with the lobby muted all the time.
Yeah, I like for Call of Duty, for example, like I obviously, as you could tell, I came from like a WoW background. I came from like MMORPGs. I didn't come from like a like a shooter background. I wasn't playing like 1 point whatever Counter Strike, and I didn't play all the CODs. And when people talk about zombies and World War whatever, I just nod my head. But this current COD that came out last October, like that was my first COD. My friends pretty much bullied me into playing it, saying, "Well, then you're not gonna have anyone to play with if you don't play this." So I dropped the $60. I got the game, and I knew enough to mute the lobby instantly. That was the first thing I did, because I primarily like game on stream. You know what I mean? Because if you're playing games and you're a streamer, there's no reason to be playing games and not streaming. It just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? And like, I understand like downtime or whatever, but that's again conversation for another podcast. But I do not keep comms on at all if I can help it. Call of Duty, for example, I think once or twice I opened them because my friends were like, no, like everybody seems chill. I opened it and it was just like, is that a girl? And I was like, off, like, because it's gonna go from girl to like, if I have Twitch in my name, which I do on like some accounts, like Valorant, I learned to take that out real quick because I was getting stream sniped constantly. And like Call of Duty, I have Twitch in my name, in my tag. Fortnite, it's like, GABFIVE.twitch. Don't add me, I won't add you back. Seriously, don't. And because of that, you get like, I think 23 times more harassment than the normal girl. Like, are you a streamer, but you got like 2 viewers? You have your tits out, and it's
Oh my god.
like, it's so like simple-minded. These people are so sad, and like there's the trolls that come into your Twitch chat that are one thing, you know what I mean? They're like, can I see your kitty? And it's just like, oh, sweetheart, like, when you come of age, like, you'll meet a nice girl and maybe things will work out for you. You have to change literally everything about yourself for that to happen, but I have faith in you, band. Easy. Now, if you're in a game, I get tilted easy. I get tilted real easy. So when somebody starts trolling me, now we're going to move from Call of Duty to Valorant real quick. The other night, we had these kids, I picked Sage. And they're like, yo, Sage, if you don't start like dropping mad bombs and you get top frag, I hope you uninstall the game as soon as it ends, girl. Like, cause you a puss. Because we all made the mistake of saying what up in the lobby. You know what I mean? And I guess they heard that I was a chick. And I was like, okay, cool. So like you just insulted me 14 times, told me to uninstall, and to top frag a Sage, which means basically heal no one. Got it. You don't understand the game. Cool. And then he proceeded throughout the game to, as I was helping my friends, I was playing with 2 kids who were like pretty new, and every time I gave them a tip, he's like, "Why are you trying to listen to a woman for? Like, it's not like they're ever going to be president or some shit. It's because they're all stupid, dog. Don't you know? Don't you know?" And then I got tilted, and when I get tilted, I either like shut down and play like garbage, or I get verbally vicious. In this situation, I started telling him that he was a lot of things. Virgin being like the nicest, you know what I mean? And then they're like, yo, he's got a girl. And I'm like, his mom don't count. Fucking, and then it got to the point where I had to mute them on voice chat because it was getting like way too toxic for like my stream to hear. And I was getting way too toxic to period. And then it went to text chat. And then in text chat, which is another terrible thing, he started telling me to come through to the crib so he could teach me where hard work will get me. And like, well, I was like, wait, what? And then he's like, come through to the crib, dog. Like, come through to the crib. Seriously. No, it's good. You scared? You scared, little bitch? And I'm like,
it's a scary thing to go to a stranger's house. I mean,
yeah, like, A, where you live? Let's go. I'll fuck you up. And B, no, dude. Like, are you seriously threatening me with violence in real life because you're bad at a game? I proceeded to stand still and get murked. Like, I would move so I wouldn't get AFK. And I would stand still, do sprays. I was like shooting dicks into like the wall, you know what I mean? Like the shape of like penis. I'm real good at shooting dicks in Valorant. And I would spray and like draw a little penis around it. And I was just doing that and getting murked over and over. Like, I think I had like 2 kills and like, I don't know, 18 deaths before we surrendered. And I threw mad hard just to piss him off. But like, I will not tolerate that kind of like behavior in a video game ever. You know what I mean? And I don't throw I don't sacrifice my games. I try to just mute everything, but then sometimes there are the exceptions. Like that game where right out of the lobby the dude was like, you know what I mean, just spitting like pure like acid at you, and you're just like, well, you know, here's some back, motherfucker. Like, and it becomes this whole thing. But I don't know. Mute the lobby, mute the randoms. That was the first and only like heavy toxic situation that I've been in Valorant. But like League was terrible. I played League briefly. That was just horrific. The things that people say in text chat in there are just disgusting. So I stopped playing that real quick. Heroes, I think Heroes and Overwatch are like the two most positive games there are, you know, in terms of community and like trolling, like, and harassment towards women. Blizzard knows what they're doing. You know what I mean? But Call of Duty, man, Jesus Christ.
Call of Duty is tough. I know even as a dude, like I'll get on and you do something good and you hear N-word this or N-word that, or I play with a couple girls in my crew and you hear, oh, what's your IG, or you should be in the kitchen, but that's light. I'm assuming that's light because we're there with her. Mm-hmm. And all my friends are assholes or trolls and everything, so we just getting them mad. So I could only imagine what it's like if, like, we weren't around and they was just talking all that shit. That's why I wanted to ask you about that too.
It gets bad. Like, it gets bad. Like I said, the few times I've like unmuted in COD have just been like, because we'll be playing cross-platform with like PlayStation people. They don't have Discord. I'm like, all right, like I'll unmute, and I accidentally unmute the whole thing, and it's just like somebody drops like a hard R instantly, and it's just like, no. I don't care if I'm offline, I don't care if I'm off stream, I still wouldn't leave it on, you know, because between the shit that they'll say if they know you're a girl and the shit that they'll say because they think they have the right to for some reason, you know what I mean, they think it's funny to be like, you know, to talk like they're just living, you know, centuries ago and in this horrifically like racist climate, like, you know what I mean? I don't know what's so cool about talking like that. What do you get out of that, dude? Do you feel good about yourself? Like, does it make you feel like strong? Like, I would love to be a psychologist for one of those kids, just to like crack them, like, and understand what goes on in that head and try and like repair it. But that would be like half the gaming community overall. So
probably the ignorance, like they want to get at you so bad to hurt you that it just. They know they should have been saying it, but they know there's a chance that it's going to hurt you, so they just say it anyways.
I don't know, man. That's why I got titty anime. Every time you get stressed, just throw on some titty anime, and it's just like, look at this beauty that exists in the world, you know?
You get chosen to make a harem, Gab. You can only pick 5 characters to be in your harem. Who would they be?
Girls or guys? Can I mix them up?
You can mix them up.
Rias.
Mm-hmm.
Rias for the titties. C2 for the experience. Bitch is old. 02 for the little rough play, you know? Because she is like part beast. Oh God, what's his name? What's his fucking name? This is really tough because I got like 10 chicks and I'm trying to pick some dudes instead. I'm like, oh no. All right.
What about that dude from Food Wars?
No.
He could cook.
No, I don't. I'm good. I like takeout. Yo, not what's my boy? What's my man? Kyo from Fruits Basket.
Okay.
The cat, you know, because he's got this vile form, but he holds it in, and you know, he wears his bracelet and he does his thing, and he's just like, he's got so much pain inside him, and I would love to fix that. And from you said 5, right?
5.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
That was 4.
4. Okay, there you go.
That's 4. For my fifth's got to be something crazy. It's got to be something crazy. No, that's gross. Okay, I was gonna make like a Boku no Pico joke. That's not okay. I was like Chico, and I'm like, wait.
Oh.
Kidding. Like I'm so fucking kidding, dude. Please don't call the FBI on me. My fifth. Shit, man, it's gonna be corny. It's not even gonna be cool. I don't know. Probably Lelouch. I think he's hot as fuck. Like,
Okay. Hey, no, there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that.
Like,
oh damn.
He's so twisted. I
From
like
a guy who-
crazy.
He's an alright looking dude. Like there's nothing wrong with him. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Cool.
All right, you guys, let's go. Bring it on.
You go first, these.
All right. So it's gonna have to be Rias for the titties, Akino because she's a freak, right? Hinata because you just want a good wife, right? You have to have Hinata. Medri, the bird maid from Interspecies Reviewers.
Yo, good pick.
Yes, and I'm going to have to say for my fifth one, man, I wanted to throw in a joke, but I don't know. Fifth one, I would have to say, I know a lot of people don't like her, but I think she's super cute, so I'm gonna have to say 10-10. I like 10-10. I think I always liked her. A lot of people don't, but it's just me. That would be my 5. All right, Suna.
All right.
Wait. Pause.
Go ahead.
You keep thinking. Can I swap out one? Can I swap out Issei? Not Issei. Oh fuck. Can I swap out Lelouch?
For
No,
Issei?
I love Lelouch, right? I said Lelouch for my number 5. Can I swap Lelouch out for the chick with the long purple hair and like the stick from High School of the Dead? I forgot her name.
Ooh, Psycho.
Yeah, yo, she's so bad, but she's like smart and she's good, but she's bad and like, oh, she got some titties.
Apparently, they're good enough to dodge bullets in slow.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right.
Let's go.
Proceed.
Okay. I think if I had to pick, number 1. Yikes. Okay, so I'll probably go with one of my favorite girls in anime, Chitoge Kirasaki from Nisekoi. 2 would probably be Shinoa Hiragi from what was the show called? Seraph of the End. Number 3 would be Akino, just for the Ara Ara vibes, you know. Number 4. At this point, I'm just Mizukage Mei Terumi from Naruto, because she seems like a very wholesome wife material, right?
It's a harem. This ain't like, you know.
Well, you know. we can.
Okay, I get it. I respect it.
Bachelorette. All right, okay.
He's very wholesome.
And number 5 for me would probably have to be Brock from Pokemon. All right, there we go.
Wait.
Brock.
What you said?
Brock you heard him? Pokemon. Hey, yo, I love Brock from Pokemon.
From Pokemon. The
I would love to be able to see without opening my eyes, man. I can respect that. You know?
see what are the topics we got here. We gotta move on, dude.
People want the dude from Food Wars. Yo, I'm trying to get Brock from Pokemon on my hair. I'm like,
why?
What?
He likes to eat pellets, dog. I don't know.
Yo, facts. He can cook. I'm like, I love Pokemon, so you know, me and him can like talk about Pokemon together. Hey, no, it's nothing. You know, it's just a whole bunch of homosexual stuff. You know what I mean? That's my boy.
Okay, so throwing Haku and Jasper in there too.
No, we're not throwing any of those in there. To be fair though, if I had to pick 5, it'd probably be something basic like Hinata from Naruto, to be honest. But I'm gonna stick with Brock from Pokemon. You know what? We'll go with that. I think I had a pretty diverse pick of people in there, so.
Ooh, if I could swap out anybody, I would swap out 10-10 for Urabi from Mysterious Girlfriend X. I know we spoke about this the last episode.
Oh my god.
But even though that anime is weird, she was actually pretty cute. I don't know if you've seen it, Gab. But,
no, I have not. I'm just gonna nod my head in agreement because I trust you.
Yeah, no. There's really no titty in there. Maybe towards the end of the anime, I haven't finished it, but like they swap memories and like dreams through drool. It's very weird. Like he falls in love with the girl by like licking her drool that she left on the desk, and then it becomes overly sexualized from there. Like they throw in another girl and shit.
What's this called? I'm gonna watch this.
Mysterious Girlfriend X.
Okay. Actually, I'm gonna pull it up on here. Hello. All right.
There's a scene where they're in the park and he's like getting horny off of her sweat and shit like that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. This popped up in my like, yo, you want to watch this? I was like, okay. Watch list. We go. We in this.
But then, yeah, that's on Crunchyroll. That's short too. Has there ever been an anime that you I guess a ecchi anime or something that you have dropped because it was like too fan servicey or you just didn't?
Oh, there's been a lot. Like, I don't think I've ever watched like the last 2 episodes of like Prison School. I have started that so many times, and I don't think I ever finished it just because like they're so fucking abusive to them, and like I'm just not into like the like C and B torture and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like I ain't into like the mean stuff. Like I don't know. I think the nicest thing that happened in that show was what's her name, like peeing on the kid, and I was like, you know, that's probably as polite as the show gets. Like the rest of it was just cruel, dude. And those kids were just like, oh, more, and I'm like,
I liked the show mainly for the comedic value that it provided, and because even though the like 1 or 2 of the guys wanted to get stepped on by the chick with high heels, there was some wholesome stuff like with 2 of the characters that I thought was really nice, and I wanted to see what would happen. So I watched it, and I actually really enjoyed it. I did. I thought the comedic value of it was just great. But I do agree that maybe some of the punishment they were doing on some of the guys was a little excessive. But I mean, it's a disciplinary committee. I just didn't know like that they would go that far with it. I still think it's a great show. It's a great watch. But if you dropped it, I understand.
Yeah, like I've started it so many times, but I just never get past that same point, and it's just like. Yeah.
I know a couple people suggested that to me. I haven't started it, but I think I'll give it a try. I think I started Mystery Girlfriend X because SAKURA mentioned it, like a couple episodes. Yeah. But I don't like rapey shit or like lolly shit. Those are the only like I watch weird shit. But those weird,
2 like consensual of age shit.
Yeah, consensual of age shit. I will watch it. Like I guess the weirdest one that I was close to dropping was only because there wasn't a lot of fan service. Was A Sister's All You Need, and it's about this guy who like draws like a manga, like he writes manga, but they're like fantasy about like if he like a brother and sister manga, but he doesn't have a sister. He's writing down stories that he would do if he actually had a sister. That was actually, yeah, you can come to think about it, it was actually pretty dope towards the end. Another one is recently My Sister's Unusual. Ooh. That shit's good. So like this girl runs into like this bridge and like she sees this ghost, and this ghost can't cross over because she has unfinished business. And that unfinished business, she has to make love to this guy that she fell in love with when she was alive. The problem is that guy happens to be the girl's brother, and she possesses her body to do the stuff with him.
I like that.
Yeah. So it's not really like she's not really doing anything with his sister, maybe the sister's body, but he's doing something with the girl's spirit. That's the story that I get.
That's deep.
I like to read deep into it. Yeah. SAKURA, anything you dropped because of that shit?
The only one that I say I dropped, but oddly enough want to go back and finish because some people told me I should, is Sister the Testament New Devil. I like episode 2 when the way they connect to form stronger bonds is through sexual tension. At that point, I was like, okay, all right, it's a little too crazy. It's getting a little too heated.
It ain't that crazy. It ain't that great.
Okay.
I actually liked it too.
Well, at the time I was watching it, I'm like, it's a little too much for me, man. So, oddly enough, I dropped it. But I've been wanting to go back and finish it at some point. Now that
I was really happy when I finished it. I definitely started it like a long time ago when I was first exploring, you know, the world of titty anime and suggestive as you know, Chinese cartoons, and I dabbled in it and I was like, it's all right. You know, I watched like more clips of it than episodes, and I never like really finished it. And then I went back maybe like a year or two ago, and I watched the whole thing, and I was like, yeah, this bumps. Like, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Same for me. I did start it like a long time ago, and that's why I dropped it. Because at the time I was like a little bit iffy on that kind of stuff, like that kind of anime related stuff. And to me, that was a little too extreme for me at the time, right? Because I did start it a long time ago, like years ago, and then I never finished it. So I'm like, I guess now it wouldn't be too bad for me to go finish it. I mean, like the stuff that gets released nowadays isn't it's not too different from that, right? At least for me. Like, I mean, what was that anime with freaking Monster Musume? I didn't finish that, but I was like, oh my god, that had some sexual stuff with like creatures that are like people. Man, yeah.
I'm not into like the animal. Like I watched like Monster Musume. Like it was what it was. You know what I mean? I liked it way more when I was like new to like the innuendos like within anime, like, which is pretty much how I kind of got back into anime. Like we all liked it as kids, and then I think I dated this dude who loved One Piece in like 2010. And I was like, this is horrible. I hate One Piece. I still to this day hate One Piece. I can't stand it. I don't know if it's him, if it's the art. I hate the way they're drawn. I hate their expressions. Like, I mean, if I could like JoJo and not like One Piece, you know what I mean? Like, that there's something wrong with One Piece. It ain't me. It's the show. It's the manga. It's everything. You know what I mean? I just don't like the art, man. But after that, he's like, no, watch like Sword Art. He's like, you love WoW, watch Sword Art. Just came out. It's great. And I was like, sometime later, I watched Sword Art. I was like, yo, this fucking rips. It's great. What have I been missing out on? And I think right after that, I watched High School DxD and High School of the Dead, and then Testament of Sister, Who's It's and What's It's. And I was just like, I'm in. I'm fucking in. I'm in. I'm sold. Like, I mean, I'm straight as a board, dude, to this day. But like, yo, titties? Never realized how great they were. Never realized.
Yo, no, I understand that completely. Like, I'm straight as a board too, right? But some of these guys in anime, I'm just like, hey, yo, man, hey, he's looking kind of cute.
Yes.
I mean, hey, I'm not for the rainbow stuff, but some of those dudes looking good,
Yo,
so hey, that's a fact. You don't have to be gay to enjoy either anime titties or anime dudes, That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna add to that statement. So I understand you completely. So
I love Testament. Testament was dope. What the anime I can't get into is have you guys seen Beastars?
Which one?
I have not.
Beastars. It's like a furry type anime, dude.
Oh, is that the Trigger? The Trigger show?
Trigger show. I don't know. It's on Netflix.
Yeah. That's the new. It's the new Trigger show. Yeah.
I can't get into that, dude. I think I like the first. I watched 2 episodes, I think, with the wife, and they got to the part where the rabbit was taking off her clothes and about to give the wolf head, and I was like, I don't think I could watch this anymore. This not... And she's like, no, it's not a furry anime. You're gonna love it. I'm like, ever since then, I haven't gotten back into it. Right. I don't know. Don't like that shit. It's not what I'm into.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I'm actually just pulling up my shit right now. Hang on. Pulling up my list real quick. Because I'm thinking about this now, and I'm like, what have I watched recently? Because, I don't know. The weird shit, I agree with you. With the animal stuff, the furry shit, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird. Like, Monster Musume, like, that was hard. You know what I mean? Like, that's a hard watch if you're not into that. The new Trigger show that you're talking about, again, a hard watch. It's supposed to be incredible and, like, very, like, very, very deep and, like, psychological and, as Trigger shows are, philosophical and shit. But I really hate fur, man, on people, in cartoons. Like, I'm not about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do hair.
I guess while we're on the topic of this, Gab, what is your favorite genre of anime? Like,
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, damn, I didn't even think about it. Well, hey, if that's what you like, that's what you like. So, and that being said, I know some people might want to hear this. What are some anime you recommend to people that either trying to get into anime, whether like I guess let's start by genre. So let's say you're like animes that you think would set someone right on the right path of getting into anime. For someone that's completely new, like they just watch TV shows on Netflix and they see the anime section on Netflix, but they're like, yeah, I don't want to jump into that. What are animes that you would recommend them to start them on their journey to eventually leading to hentai? We're not gonna say hentai.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But,
So
but it eventually
we'll work up to that. I think that people shouldn't like deep dive the way I did. You know, the way I was like sword art titties, like it was a slippery slope, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because by the time I got to like, by the time I finished all like the titty anime, I was just like, well, what do I do now? Hentai, I guess, you know. And then you start with the tentacle shit, and then you're like, I'm not really into this, and then you start with like this kind, and you're like, oh, all right. And you keep working your way in, but before you know it, you have like a very refined taste, and like it's like, I don't know, it's almost like sipping like tea or wine, like watching a hentai. You know what I mean? It's just like, yes, this is good, you know. Or like, oh no, it has not aged well. You know, it's very whatever. So yeah, hentai, that's a whole nother thing. I would not recommend the path that I followed. But for entry anime, to stay on topic, I would say Black Clover is a great show. Got a ton of episodes, ongoing. It pretty much just is never ending. There's no seasons. It just keeps going, you know? And it's a great show. It's got like, you know, it's got like a cute little like romancy thing between like Asta and Noelle, you know what I mean? But it's not really a romancy thing because he's totally oblivious because he's just a young kid that just wants to get strong and be the wizard king, and like it's exciting and it's fun and it's easygoing. You know what I mean? Like I love Black Clover because I could just relax and watch it. You know, even during the craziest arcs, I'm just like, this is nice. You know, like this is just nice. It's like going to the beach on a sunny day. You know what I mean? It just feels good. Like it's a great fucking show. I think Fruits Basket is really good. I love Fruits Basket. I love Fruits Basket. Totally didn't realize where that was gonna go when I started it. I was like, maybe I should try some slice of life stuff. So I tried watching Fruits Basket, and suddenly it was so deep and so like, what a story, what a plot, you know, and like. The tension between the characters is beautiful. The character development is beautiful. Like the pain that some of them bear and like carry in that show that disguised as a slice of life anime is really beautiful. And if you don't think that like Toru Honda like is best girl, you bugging. You bugging. You want a wife? You want a good girl? Toru Honda. That's where it's at. I definitely think those are good. I think, you know, like My Hero is great. If you want to watch something like super popular, you know what I mean? That's not like, you know, 8 million episodes in or something, you know what I mean? Like, or, you know, has a million series. Like, I think like Naruto is like a great show to watch to start for certain people. I don't think it's a great show for everyone because like, there's like, you got this one, you got that one. Now it's this kid, you know what I mean? And then, some people would be like, you know, I'm trying to think of like the big ones. What are the big shows? Naruto, right? If you want to go a little bit further back, Evangelion. And Evangelion's weird as fuck, man. I don't suggest starting with that. So many people start with that and they're like, yo, I'm never watching this shit. It's like, yeah, dude. You know what I mean? It's not the, you know, I think you got to have something under your belt before you start shows like that. You know what I mean? Just because like you really got to know what you're into, what you're looking for before you get into like super shonens or like mecha stuff that has like, you know, extreme philosophical undertones. And you know, before you get into titty, before you get into anything, you know what I mean, you really got to start with stuff like, I think like My Hero's great, Black Clover, Fruits Basket, you know, because you could be like a girl, a guy, in anything, both, between, nothing. You could be whatever kind of human being and watch these shows and have a good time. That's what I think.
And that's a really good answer. I agree with that. I think in order to enjoy the refined wine taste of ecchi anime, you have to watch. You have to have some experience with like some good like shonen and just like some good anime in general to really appreciate the comedic and refined taste of ecchi anime. So I could agree with that. Yeah, that's a pretty good answer. Fruits Basket. I actually haven't seen Fruits Basket, but I think I'll probably give it a shot soon. It'll probably go on the watch list at some point.
Yeah.
And
it hits heavy like right from the get-go, and then it gets really lighthearted, and then you start like learning more about the characters, and it's like, whew. Dude, like I carry the weight of Fruits Basket every day. You know what I mean? I carry these characters' weight on my back. It's something. It's a great show. It's halfway through the second season now, which has been incredible so far. So yeah, highly recommend. It's still early on, you know what I mean? You can nip it in the bud. Don't watch the original one. I don't like the I don't like the art. I don't like the animation. The original one was from like early 2000s, I think, and it just Current one is great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to watch the current one. I'm guessing I could probably find it on Crunchyroll or something. So
yeah, it's on Crunchyroll, Verve, all that stuff.
Funimation and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely give that a watch. So now that we've kind of covered that,
Mhm.
I kind of want to go back to this topic that I want to talk about earlier, which is the toxicity that female gamers face in online, which is something that I've been kind of like always there for it, but I've always been kind of like oblivious because I've always grown up playing games, right? I think I go as far as like when I was 4 years old playing like Pokemon, briefly remembering watching Pokemon and playing it, and never really having to socialize. And at one point, I got introduced to GTA Online, like in 2010 or something like that. I think it was like GTA 4 Online, and then I got, like everyone else, got into a mic. Was playing with the boys and stuff. And I never really, I grew up in the COD community really, because I played like Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare, Black Ops 2, and then I kind of got from there into like a bit now into what I play more, anime games, which are like fighting games and stuff.
Mhm.
And I was and I really do like enjoy team-based games like Overwatch. Eventually I got into that too, which is where I'm gonna go with this here in a second. But
Right.
I was kind of always oblivious to like the I don't even know why, like for some reason, and I've always wondered this myself, but I never really questioned it too much because I was always around it, and I was younger back then. Like I started playing like online 2010. I was still like what, 14, 12, 13, somewhere around that age.
Mhm.
I never understood why when there was a girl on mic, guys just had like this like immediate reaction to girl, and I was just like, what's wrong with people? Because of that though, that literally like shafted my views, like to like where when I would hear people like bullying people, like girls online, I thought like, oh, I mean, I get bullied too sometimes because I was like one of the younger people on the consoles at the time. So I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't really see it. But then I realized that they didn't just bully them because they're young or because they are squeakers or anything like that. It was simply the fact that they were a girl on the game, and then like it didn't make sense to me. Even now to this day, I don't understand it, and I don't. It prompts people, like especially girl gamers, to not talk at all with mics,
Yeah.
or to talk to people they're not okay with talking with, because for some reason just unmuting your mic and saying something like it's you just receive harassment for no reason, and I don't understand it to this day. And I think part of it has to do with just how fucked up some people think.
Mhm.
And I guess since the anonymity of like being behind like a screen, same thing with like Twitter and stuff, they can just express either how they really feel or just how fucked up they are through a game to people that don't really even deserve it, right? Because if you want to
Yeah.
be fucked with someone, like at least make sure they deserve it, right? But to get bullied for being a girl and just being told to get in the kitchen and stuff, that to me to this day doesn't make any sense to me. And earlier you said that some of the nicer games are Overwatch and stuff, but that's honestly, without trying to say that you're wrong or that you're incorrect, that's where I've been playing it a lot lately, and that's where I've been seeing it a lot, and I don't understand why that is. But there's also like an underlying, like the people don't straight up say it, but like it's some kind of like sexist view that females must play support, and that if you're
Right.
playing EPS for some reason, like, oh no, you should be playing, why aren't you playing Mercy, why aren't you playing a healer, like why aren't you playing healer, like you should be playing healer, you're a girl. And I don't understand that to this day either. But and I see it a lot on there, like toxicity towards females. I'm not gonna say like I haven't seen it in COD, because I have seen it. Haven't seen it
Mhm.
much recently because I've kind of dropped COD in general. Like Infinite Warfare, Ghost, those were kind of bad, so I kind of didn't play those.
Mhm.
But I just to this day, like, I don't believe and I don't think that just because I'm a female, I should be afraid to turn on the mic because I'm afraid I'll receive harassment. And I don't know why it feels like when this stuff happens, the people that say these things just seem to get away with saying it, you know?
Yeah.
And there's just and then like the underlying like sexism in games that females should play support. I've never really understood it. That's why when I play with, like, when I notice it's a female player, I'll try not to be I guess, what's the word? Overly
Judgmental.
no, not even judgmental, but I'm never really judgmental, but overly nice to them, or I guess judgmental too, because I understand that they might want to, they might be afraid of like talking, but they won't say too much because they're afraid they'll get like burned or roasted or something. But like just to kind of like show supportive like themes. I'm not gonna be trying to be too nice, but like try to make them feel like fit in like any other player, because like I don't like the fact that they just get attacked for no reason. And I just wanted to know, like, are your opinion, because you mentioned this earlier, and now that I'm kind of done ranting, I do see it a lot on Overwatch because the game I've been playing lately.
Mhm.
What is your take on all this? Because as a female gamer, you've already explained earlier that you've dealt with the harassment and you've had times where you just like rage and go get a little too toxic on mic because of these. And I just want to know, like, so what is your take on this? And as someone who experiences it, what do you think like is the right steps to maybe avoid this for people so everybody can have a really good experience on there? Because I don't know if you guys are aware, like 45, 43 something percent of gamers are actually girls, right? I don't know if y'all know this, but you would never be able to tell,
Right.
because they don't talk. You wouldn't know, right?
Because we've either been told to keep our mouths shut or we've learned to keep our mouths shut.
Yeah.
You know? And very rarely will you find like the brave girl who's like, who just jumps in there and she's like, all right, guys, let's fucking do this. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, whoa, confidence, you know? But you not only have to have an overwhelming amount of confidence in real life to be able to be that girl, but you have to like bring that into your game and probably not experience the same level of like harassment that other girls have. And I've seen that. I've seen like brave chicks. Like I was watching this streamer, American Dad. He's fucking great. The other day, and he was playing Valorant, and this girl Megan, just named Megan, is in the game. Top frag, going off, comms, beautiful. You know what I mean? Obviously a headset mic, which was a little unfortunate, but you know, nice voice, good confidence. Like girl had it all, right? And everybody was just like, whoa. And it was so cool to see dudes just like not only like chilling, acting like everything's fine, but like enamored by her presence. You know what I mean? And it's like, so, that confused me actually a little more. It was so cool at the time, and then afterwards I was thinking, and I'm like, yo, do you have to impress the men you're playing with in order to deserve like their respect in a game? Or like, do you have to have like, you have to just enter there with like a ton of confidence and like pretty much like run the show, be like pack leader? Like, is that the way you have to do it in order to, do you have to demand, you know, the respect in that regard? Like, how does it work? You know what I mean? I personally don't get it, because like I'll play support because honestly, it's a vital role. But also because let's rewind. You know what I mean? Now I'm like, I like playing supports. I love sports. But if I go back in time to when I started playing Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, which is like an MMORPG. It's incredible, beautiful game, great story. I remember signing up, and I was dating someone, and they forced me to play this game. I didn't really like Final Fantasy. It was always too pretty for me. Too much story, too much reading. I liked like fighting games and shit, you know, when I was younger, like Tony Hawk games and stuff. I never played the Final Fantasies. So he's like, oh, you know, you should play like a white mage, which is the healer. And I'm like, why? I love DPS. I love magical DPS. I play a mage. You know that. Why can't I play the mage in this game, the black mage? And they're like, you should probably heal. You know, that's like really hard. And this is someone I dated for 4 years. They're like one of my good friends. Like I don't think they meant anything by it. I think that they were just so conditioned by so many years of gaming that they, you know, just their brain like went right to girl, heal. You know, it's easy. It's a great like way for you to start. And I think about that now, and it's like, you know, would I be healing so much? Would I be playing so many support characters? Maybe if it weren't for that, you know, for me getting placed inside that like box, you know, the support box, like from my first run at this, you know. And even when like WoW Classic came out, I was like, oh, I can't wait to roll a mage in WoW Classic, just like the old days. Maybe I'll play Warlock, because that was my first character, all magical DPS. And my friends, my old school friends who I played WoW with back in the day, were all like, oh, I don't know, like, why don't you just play like a priest? And that's, I think, maybe like another moment where it dawned on me, where I was like, huh, it was just a couple of years ago now, you know what I mean? We're all grown up. And still, they were like, why don't you just play a priest? We really need a priest. And like, yeah, you know, true, we needed a priest. and someone else wanted to play Warlock, but like, that's my main, dude. You know what I mean? Why don't you play a priest? And they're like, oh, I don't play that. Why? You know, I think there's like this, you know, even with Valorant now, you know, there's like a stigma around like girl support, and I don't get it. I don't know where it came from. I don't know why it exists. Maybe because they think that like we're not as talented, we're not as like, you know, frag out, like, you know, drop bombs, like, you know, I'm gonna drop a 40 bomb this game, like, you know, maybe they just think that we're less capable. And playing a support is easier because you don't have to worry about damage, you don't have to worry about taking damage. You pretty much just stand in the back and do your
heal.
job. You know, and being told to play a support is basically the same as being told to like get back in the kitchen, sweetie. You know what I mean? And it's just like, do you blame their mentalities? You know, their you know, mentalities that they shaped themselves throughout their life, because it's, you know, in this modern age, like we kind of figure out who we are on our own. Or do you blame parenting? You know, which I really feel like is less and less like prevalent these days, but still could be the cause. You know what I mean? Did they grow up in a household where that was just the dynamic, that women were less capable, and that's how, you know, when you're raised with like a certain mentality, you carry that mentality into adulthood, unless you're like hyper aware of shit and in quote unquote woke. You know what I mean? And you can really change your upbringing, which is very hard for anyone to do. I think that's usually the cause is the parenting. And, you know, kind of like I grew up in, you know, my mom worked, right? Like she did her thing, but then she had me and she stopped working. She was a full-time mom. She was a housewife technically. And you know, she always used to tell me like, oh, you'll find a nice man to take care of you. And I got to a certain age where I was just like, I don't want that. Why would I ever want that? Why would I ever want someone to like dote on me? And she's like, that's just how it is. And I'm like, that's not how it is. Like, are you insane? Like, I rebelled against that mentality and many things, because I had common sense. And I just think that that's like a disgusting way to think, that like you should be taken care of by someone and you should kind of take care of them in the meantime. And it's just like, and then, you know, and then you apply that to like World of Warcraft in my first run, and, you know, I dated a tank and I was, you know, this, and it's just like, and to this day, like, I feel like it's still a thing. And it's just really fucking weird, dude. It's really weird. I think it's mainly parenting. I think it really falls onto the parents and the fact that even as adults, like a lot of men like don't shake that like upbringing, you know? They listen to like how they're, you know, to what their dad taught them because they think that's the right thing to do. They, you know, or maybe out of fear, you know, and maybe out of just being simple-minded. You know, most people don't think outside the box and explore what other options there are. Most people grow up like respecting and fearing their parents, which is not, you know, you weren't born into this world to live for someone else. You were born into this world to live for yourself, to make your own decisions, to follow your own path, not to be like the mental servant of your fucking parents. And that's just not the case for so many people. I understand that there should be a certain level of love and respect there, you know what I mean? Given you had a good upbringing, whatever, but you should also make your own fucking choices. And you should understand that if your parents are boomers or hippies or whatever the fuck, they probably didn't teach you all the right shit. You know what I mean? I don't mean education-wise. I don't mean in terms of like how to love one another, you know. I just mean like certain dynamics might be missing that exist in the modern day and didn't exist then. And you should really... you should wake the fuck up. You know, a lot of people just need to wake the fuck up and come to terms with this shit on their own. And I think that's why you see these things, like this 1920s level, like sexist shit in games where people are just like, yo, a girl, huh? Play Sage, that's cute. And it's like, you know what, man? Let's see how many kills you get, dude. Let's see who fucking heals you. Let's see how many times you die. Like, do I want to play vindictive like that? No, dude. You know what I mean? I'd rather this guy be like, yo, we got a girl in here, let's hype. All right, cool. That's the last we talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, recognize that I'm a chick if you need to, or don't recognize that I'm a chick because it's not necessary. Either way, it's fine. But, like, just don't be a negative piece of shit. That's all I think. I can speak for all females here. That's all we ask, is to not be a negative piece of shit. Act like we're one of the boys. Act like we're you know, or just be like, yo, girl, cool. Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? Just be cool about it, man. Or just be like, yo, what's up, everybody? And then when I say, yo, it's good, don't, like, I don't know, like, punch yourself in the face, dude, with the things you say. Like, that's all I'm asking. Like, just be cool. Be cool. I grew up thinking I was one of the guys. I grew up being treated like I was one of the guys. It was gaming where I first experienced not being able to be one of the guys. That doesn't really make sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. But whatever. You know, hopefully we can move forward and get out of this. I don't think Gen Z, you know, the little Zoomers are going to be of much help, to be honest with you. I think it's really up to like the millennials to set this shit straight. And hopefully we can do that.
Also lies with the content creators too, because like as far as like I know I have a 8-year-old daughter, and she soaks up everything that she sees on YouTube and shit like that. So it's all about the influences too. I know because I stream, but I troll. I troll everybody. I don't care if you dude, female. I don't care if you say something wrong. I'm gonna come at you. But I know in Overwatch, when it's like a team-based game, and I don't care if you're a girl, I just want to win the game.
Right.
And it does suck, because I think I ran into this one girl one time that I think all day she was trying to play Overwatch. And it was like, you should be playing Mercy, or you should be playing Diva, or stuff like that, it got to her. So she was playing tank, and I was playing Zarya, and this was King's Row. And I remember because we were attacking, and you know how as soon as you get out, there's that red bus before you hit the choke. It's like right in front of you in spawn. She was Reinhardt, and she had the shield behind that bus. And I'm like, I forgot what her name. We're gonna say player A for now. I was like, yo, play A, come to the choke. We need you. We need your shield at the choke. Don't talk to me like that. You're Reinhardt, right? We need you right here. I mean, do you want me to switch off? I'll be another tank. No, you should have talked to me about that. If I wanted to shield here, I would shield here. And then she just started crying and breaking down. And I was like, was something I said, or was it after I reviewed the VOD, I was like, it couldn't have been that. Like, I told her to play the game the way the game should have been played. But I think all day she probably was like getting beat by dudes on the mic, and me just saying, hey, put your shield on the choke just broke her down. And it was suck because it cost me SR. So that was bad. I think I went down. No.
That's pretty sad too. I've actually heard stories. This is something that makes me just want to be like an advocate for this. I've heard people that get bullied to the point where they don't want to play games online anymore, particularly girls, right? To the point where they have to mute the mic because they'll cry because the team is just so toxic and like so fucked up to them that the point where they just can't stand it. And I guess the underlying theme is just don't be a piece of shit. I guess we're all here to have fun at the end of the day. Like, don't like. Sometimes your team might not be good, and that doesn't just go for females. It goes for guys too. I have my nephew. I play with him. He likes Fortnite. We'll play. I know he's bad, so it makes me mad that he's bad sometimes. I'm like, why can't you be like these other World Cup kids, right? But at the end of the day, like, just be patient with people that you're playing with. You know, I guess just don't be a piece of shit. I guess doesn't matter what the gender is. Just don't be a piece of shit. And this is why, like I said earlier, I try not to be overly nice, but I always try to like be positive towards like female players because I know they deal with the most shit, and I want to show people that that's not how you're supposed to be. And I really hope that the people that are like, if you're listening, like and you see that you're like a female teammate is getting shit on like by your male counterparts, but I want to say male counterparts because I know some girls can be toxic, but I find that very rare, often, very rare. You know, just stand up. Like, you know, you'll get called a white knight for it, but honestly, it doesn't like just you don't have to be knight, be a piece of shit. Like I honestly, I'd rather be a white knight than a piece of shit. I'll just say that. And I guess just
exactly, dude. Exactly.
Just ignoring it makes it feel like you're just in a sense you're paving way for them to just be assholes if you don't stand up for it. And I feel like if more people start to stand up for it, like these people will learn that hey, that's not okay. I shouldn't be saying this. I feel like people that are shitty are always going to be kind of shitty, but
absolutely,
if we as a community get together to be like, hey, this isn't right, maybe we can do something. And I feel like I know that some gaming like the main people like the devs and stuff are like aware of like some harassment and stuff, but I feel like they should do more for some of these type of harassments that are like sexist and racist harassments. And I feel like the ban should be stricter or something, because I've heard some
It
people
should be
have
a lot more
and
strict.
like on Twitch, like they started banning people based on IP addresses. So even if they make another account, they can't come back and harass you. I feel like
Yes,
they
shadow
should do something
banning.
like that. Yeah, I feel like they should do something like that for games too, just to, because I'm pretty sure some people would not want to be a piece of shit if they know they even if they hop on a Smurf or something, they that
Yeah.
if they get that Smurf ban, they won't be able to hop on their main account, right?
Right.
So
Tons
I
of
feel
people
like
make
if it,
alts. Yeah.
mhm. So it would I guess maybe reduce the amount of shitty people if like game devs knew that, hey, we should just these Smurfs that are like being toxic to people that just make Smurfs to be pieces of shit. Like if we ban these, it'll ban their main account. It'll shadow ban it, right? Because the same IP address and stuff. I feel like maybe that among like they just speaking up and not letting this happen when it's happening in front of you would be a good way to like a good like a step in the right direction. A pretty big one, I think.
I agree.
Uh, uh, so that's at least my take on it, because I don't agree with it either. Like I said, when I was younger, I used to just ignore it because I thought it was just like a normal thing, right? And as I grew older, I'm like, this isn't right. Like, why are girls just being bullied? I got bullied too, like on the games and stuff. Hey, you're pretty bad, bro. But yeah, I'm just like, I ignored it, right?
Right.
But I know that girls seem to get it for no reason, seemingly, and that's when I first started like to become self-aware. Like, hey, this isn't right. And I noticed it on Overwatch. I love the game, right? I like playing
Mhm.
it. It took me just like seeing everything around me to really see that. And I also don't agree with like the whole girls have to play support. So anytime like I play a game, like I try to encourage them to play whatever they want, but they seem to always want to lean more towards support because it's like what they've been trained. In a sense, like trained. I can't really say trained
Conditioned.
because it's like they were forced to, right?
Mm.
Right.
Conditioned.
Conditioned. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
so I always try to like make sure that to make them feel like they can play whatever they want, and that I'm not gonna judge, even if they're bad at it per se. Not everyone is good. I'm not good at freaking tank, right? I'm not the best tank at all. Like I'm okay at tank, but I'm flawed. I'm better at DPS and at healer. So just. But I would always encourage them and like make sure that they don't feel like they're not good enough because of like their gender or something. So it's just like steps in the right direction, like I said. So I feel like the devs should shadow ban more for sure, like something like that. Maybe put their foot down when it comes to this, because it exists whether they want to like admit it or not. And just people in general should just not be so shitty online because they have anonymity, especially towards female gamers in that sense. But yeah.
No, absolutely. Like they should be less shitty. Devs should be more aware. They should be taking more steps towards this. And as much as they say that they are, they're not, because of
Mhm.
two things. One, if it's a game that somebody paid for, and a game that someone plays often, they're afraid of losing like that statistic. You know what I mean? That number.
Mhm.
People are numbers to most devs, and they need those numbers to exist, to have their job. You know what I mean? And they're afraid of losing a lot of the player base. If they did something like Twitch's shadow banning on games, the numbers would significantly decrease in terms of like active players, because so many people do this shit, this toxic, horrible shit. Now,
Yeah.
the other issue is whales. Are they spending a lot of money? How much money has this person spent on Fortnite? How much money has this person spent on Valorant so far? The current bundle in Valorant for their featured bundle is like 97, 99 bucks or something like that. That's a lot of money, dude. And imagine like buying each one of these bundles plus, playing I don't know, 30 hours a week or something, 40 hours a week. That's, you're losing a whale if you ban them. And they're so afraid of losing revenue and losing their player base that they're not going to do these things. And also, most of the people making these decisions, in charge of these decisions, are men. And now let's look at like Ubisoft this week, right? What happened today with Ubisoft? Did you guys see the news that there's
No.
like another like half a dozen like sexual assault like what do you call it,
Allegations.
allegations that came out today, in addition to the ones that came out earlier this week? And Ubisoft was doing a press conference on Twitch today, literally like just like about an hour or two ago. They went live, and they were doing like a little conference about like what they're going to be doing about this, what the next steps are, and it's like, you know, this is all too. I worked in the gaming industry. I can tell you that at the time that I was working in games, there were so many similar situations to that happening at like other companies. Like I was in mobile, luckily, where you don't really hear about these things because we're on a much smaller scale. But my coworkers all came from AAA studios. You know what I mean? They all came from EA, who came from Ubi, and so on and so on. And they all had stories. They all had experiences. They all knew people, this guy, that guy, who did horrible things, whether, they harassed them, whether they, said suggestive things to them or to their coworkers, who's still in the business, who got fired, but now works there. And it's like, none of these people are being taken care of. None of these situations are being taken care of, which sets the precedent for the players. If the people making the games can get away with it, then the people playing them certainly can too. And I think that there's so much that has to be done, but we gotta, maybe we, instead of looking at like, sure, shadow banning, great idea in games, but maybe the person making that call is just like the guy in the game offending women. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we got to look really to the source of these things and start like attacking that and start taking care of that and fixing that before we even expect change in the player base. That's what I think. But yeah, sucks what happened in Ubi today. Sucks. Fucking horrible.
I actually hadn't been on my phone for the most part of the day. I
literally woke up right before we started everything.
Yeah, I get the notifications from Google, like from the Google search app, because you know how it like customizes like the like interesting stories for you. So I have like gaming, streaming, certain types of music, and technology, like those things. So I know when like the new Intel CPUs come out. I know when this game, somebody did a JoJo cosplay. Here it is, and somebody freaking whatever, what I mean, new Twitch thing, and I like just, I have it customized. So now, recently I've been getting notifications from Google. It's like, hey, like Orville Peck came out with a new album today. And I'm like, ooh, exciting. And then there's the less good things like, and then there's the medium things like World of Warcraft's, the beta, for the new expansion just ended, game coming out in September. Cool. And then today it was like, 5 more, sexual assault allegations, in Ubisoft, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ. And then I opened, I looked at my Twitch notifications and it said Ubisoft went live. Because back when I worked in games, I had all these game studios followed because I was starting a streaming thing and I wanted to see what they used to do. Luckily I did, because now I saw that and I was just like, I think it's very, it's very cool of them to be doing a press conference, to be trying to get ahead of the curve, not let people talk shit, don't just file a statement online and that's it. Talk to a couple like journalists at Kotaku and like you think you're good. I think it's very like proactive for them to be doing that, but what is it really going to do? You know what I mean? You're not going to change the entire industry. You're not going to change the entire player base with a press conference. It's action. It's absolutely, it's all about action. But
I guess
time will
us
tell.
Also standing forward as a generation and teaching our kids and passing that knowledge on down the line.
Absolutely, dude.
That's what I try to teach my daughter all the time. I started getting her into like shooter games. She's like, I want to play this. I'm like, yeah, you sure you can do whatever you want? And she tries a gun here and there and learns how to play tank. I'm like, because I'm a tank man, so I'm like, yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Do that. And she's going around calling herself the PvP princess, and it just makes me happy.
That is so cute.
It makes me super happy. She got my cockiness, which is awesome.
Glad to have had that conversation. Most people honestly are just like, oh, just ignore them. That's what you hear from your friends and stuff. So it's like interesting to see that people actually like give more of a shit than that.
Yeah, it's sad that I only recently, like maybe like less than half a year ago, started like, not even that, maybe a little bit more than a year, but it's because I used to have a duo partner in Overwatch who was we don't talk anymore because I guess I want to say we're on bad terms, but we didn't end off on bad terms. I can't really give my take on that, but I would play with them and they were a DPS main as well, so we would both duo DPS, and it was back when Overwatch was still like you could pick any role, right?
Right.
There was no role queue. And they would tell her like, "Hey, hop on freaking support, like the fuck," and then she wouldn't do it. She was like, "No, I main Tracer, Pharah, and stuff like that. Like you can check my hours." She's like, "But you have some hours on healer. Like why don't you play Mercy instead?" And like and then because she wouldn't switch, they proceeded to throw games because she wouldn't switch to healer, which is stupid. And then on top of that, they would proceed to call her names and say she was fat and go back to the kitchen. All these horrible things.
Yeah.
And that's when I first like came to my attention, like, hey, that's fucked up. Like I always knew it was kind of messed up that people were being bullied, but I always took it as just bullying. And then when I was hanging around her, I really saw, and like I saw it firsthand, and I'm like yo, shut up, like that's fucked. And that's just really what like it took me seeing that firsthand to like a friend that I really cared about to really see that was like it just happened for like literally no reason. It's just like it seems to be accepted, and I don't like that. So
yeah.
It's sad that like it took me this long to really see it, and I think it really does have to do with parenting and stuff, because my mom was always more of a supportive person, while my dad was always more of like a hard labor, like bring the money home type person. And my mom would always make him food and stuff, and I always thought like I saw it growing up, and I kind of just accepted it. But then as I got older, I realized that that's not right, and it just sucks that it took me until recently, almost half a year ago, 22 years old. It took me almost half a year ago to really realize that that shouldn't be the way shit is. And I just really hope that people that hear this and people that just like are seeing this like come to realize that that shit's not right, you know? It's really not. And just hearing that even until recently, like sexual like assaults and stuff like that have been like normalized, like stuff in school, slap ass Friday, stuff, stupid shit like that. Like was always like it's considered sexual assault, right? But the kids didn't understand that,
Right.
so that's why Fast Friday and shit like that went on in school. And just now seeing this, it's just like, wow, there's so many cases of sexual assault, and not a lot of people really realize that it was sexual assault, because at the time they didn't really see it as that.
Yeah. Again, going back to like the parenting thing, like, because they're just not taught, you know what I mean? Like, that you can't do that kind of shit, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's not okay. Like, and they're also not taught about like sex at home. You know what I mean? That's another big thing. It's just like you're not taught like how to like respect, you know, like your whatever you're interested in. You know what I mean? Whatever gender that might be, you're not taught to really respect them. You know, girls get to talk about like periods, guys get to talk about like whatever guys get to talk about, you know. And
we don't talk about much.
Yeah.
I'd imagine it's very simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very simple. Like even today, like my wife is like, "Oh, so what were you talking about?" Like, we really didn't talk about anything. I heard your friend was going through something. I said, "No, we didn't talk about that. We just it's very base level with us."
Yeah. That's how I kind of imagine it to be, and it's really unfortunate. You know what I mean? Because like you should have these conversations. You should be aware of like kind of what goes on and how to respect the type of person that you're interested in. You know what I mean? Whatever that might be, like, because you're taught to like, you know, be nice to others and respect others and things like that. But when it comes to sex, like most dudes, like, you know, in these situations, most dudes who are like, you should be a healer, get back in the kitchen, like, they're not taught to respect like the opposite sex properly. They're not like, they're thinking with like their dick. You know what I mean? They see you as an object, as a sexual object. They don't see you as a person, as a fellow gamer. You know what I mean? And I think like if they were more educated on these things, and it's like, hey, like, this is not just a person who's gonna like maybe carry your kid one day. This is your equal. You know what I mean? Like, they're not there for you to like pipe and dip. Like, these are your equals. And like, I grew up in a culture full of people doing the same kind of shit that you're talking about. You know what I mean? We didn't have slap ass Fridays or whatever, but like we had Are You Nervous, which was, you know, from junior high. And that was like, you know, put your hand on your knee, and then they go up and up and up and up, and like, and if they get like towards your crotch, you're just like, I win. And like, that's disgusting. That's sexual assault. You know what I mean? Like, that's at a young age, and it's horrific that like, you know what I mean? Like, that people aren't taught like, don't put your hands on someone, like, don't talk to someone like that, don't do, you know, disgusting things to people. But whatever.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did the Are You Nervous thing, and high school, we also did some like band shit. Where, like each different color band that you had
Yep.
like represented something different.
Mm-hmm. And
But
if
it's
a
like
guy like pulled a black like
toxic.
rubber band off you, that
The,
means that like he
you
did
had to like
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
you have to like
Or you had to
touch
do
his
something
dick
for
or
them.
something like
Yep.
that.
Like I said, since there's like awareness of what sexual assault is, you see it more like on Twitter and stuff. Like, hey, yeah, like that guy
This thing
sexually
happened.
assaulted.
Yeah,
This thing
this thing
happened.
happened and it was not okay.
Yeah, and more people are becoming aware of it because of people bringing it out that hey, that's not right, and then people become aware like, hey, I may have been sexually assaulted, or hey, I may have sexually assaulted someone unknowingly, or maybe they did know, but I'm saying unknowingly because it just became such a normal thing that you wouldn't think it like if it to be sexual assault, and then people think about it and they see like, hey, this isn't right, you know, and I do believe awareness is probably the first step towards it, and then repercussions are probably the next step. Just like I said, game developers banning people would be like a good step. I think so, like shadow banning. But I understand what you were saying earlier that we should probably go after the people that are in the company themselves, like the devs and stuff. Because if they're doing shit like that, it doesn't reflect very well on the players either. Because then they could get away with that. So I understood that, and I agree with that. I guess awareness is the first step, however. So yeah, I can agree with that. And I'm very grateful to have had you here today, someone who's a big gamer, to have like this kind of insight and this talk with, because I don't talk to a lot of female gamers. I like the most I come across them is like playing Overwatch or something, or playing games and stuff. But I don't go out of my way to really like talk to anyone, whether it be guys or girls, right?
Yeah.
Because I've always been kind of awkward. But uh, just from being around the gaming community, seeing that has just been messed up, and I'm glad that I could finally have someone to like really talk to about it, because I've heard about it online and stuff, and I never really saw it. Like I saw it, but I didn't understand it, and now recently I've started understanding it, and just to have someone here to like verify, like, hey, this is an actual thing, and that we should probably do something about it as people, because this is the right thing to do, has been like a very big. Well, I've already had my eyes open about it, but I really hope that if someone were to listen to this, they can like open their own eyes and see like, hey, this isn't right.
Yeah.
So just to have
Not okay.
someone like from a female point of view, that's very like I'm just very grateful that you were here today, Gab. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, of course, man. So as a PSA to everybody out there, yo, don't treat girls in your game like shit. It's not okay. And we're not gonna cry about it, or maybe we are. Either way, it's not okay.
Just don't be a piece of shit, honestly. I think everyone should just be nice to each other, but that's a little too much asking for the COD community, because you can't go a second without calling fucking camper.
Hey, leave the COD community alone, man. They're good people. They're just, you know, there's a little bit that they need to tweak on, and that's why I'm here. So just leave the COD community alone. Right?
Like there was when I watched Given, that was just one of the best animes I think I've ever watched. I think Given is like it's one of like the 4 anime that's tied for like my 3rd favorite. And there's only like 11 episodes.
What is that
so
about?
like that really says something. It's about a kid who plays music. You know, it's a high school kid who plays music like really well, and he's in a band, and he meets this other kid who really doesn't know jack shit about music, but he's so interested and he really wants to learn. And it's about the music that they share. It's about the friendship that like grows between them. It's about like the past kind of catching up to you, and the fact that you need to deal with your past, even no matter how traumatic it is. You need to at least acknowledge it and come to terms with it at some point. Otherwise, you'll just be stuck in this like limbo. You know, it's just an incredible show. If you're like a fan of like I never realized it's not even that if you're a fan of music animes and stuff like that. I don't even think that's it. It's just I don't know, if you like if music, any music makes you feel a certain type of way, you get goosebumps when you hear a song or something. It's a good show. It's like maybe 3% yaoi, but it's really not, because I didn't realize that it was, honestly, until like a little bit in, and I was like, oh, I want, and then at one point you're like, oh, okay, and then you just it progresses. You know what I mean? Past that, it doesn't focus on anything. It's not like. It's more about like the bond between people and through music, and it's just so beautiful. Fuck, it's so beautiful, and there's like a performance in it, and it's like I cry every time. And I remember the first time I watched it, I knocked out all 11 episodes in one day, and I just had such a weird dream that night, and I woke up crying. I'm like, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
What's it called? Given?
Given, yeah. It's fucking great. I'm trying to think of what the other dream I had was. I'm looking down my list. Dakaichi, yeah. That's Sexiest Man of the Year. That's another great yaoi. It gets a little hardcore sometimes. Like it's on Crunchy, it's on Verve, it's on all that. Like I said, it gets a little hardcore, but like the plot is really good, and like I just love seeing an honest connection between two characters. You know what I mean? Whether one is like a total like tsundere or whatever, you know what I mean? It's okay. Like, you know, it's okay as long as like the love is honest and like a beautiful blossoming relationship. I don't know. It's like some people watch like a romance movie and like they'll cry their eyes out to the Notebook. You know what I mean? But if you could put like that kind of a love, that like timeless, like passionate love into like a fucking anime, you could put that into like an 11, 12 episode run, 26 if I'm lucky. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit, dude, I'm in. I am so in. I don't care if it's a girl and a girl, if it's some weird sister citrus shit. I don't care if it's a yaoi. You know what I mean? Like, I'm about it. I'm about it, dude. I'm just about seeing these like beautiful like love scenes. And then there's also the contradictions of that, like Kiss Him Not Me. That was great. That was a girl who loves yaoi, you know, and she's possibly the most beautiful girl in anime. Like the most beautiful. So I just check it out. What's her freaking name? Something. It'll come to me probably at the end. She's got purple hair and green eyes, and she's like the most beautiful, sparkling thing. And the show has such a twist. Just watch the first episode of it. If you're only gonna watch if you're gonna watch any of it, watch the first episode. You don't even have to watch past that. Watch first episode of Kiss Him Not Me. It's great. It's a girl who loves yaoi and goes through this like transformation, and these dudes swarm her, and it's like an anti-love story because you know what she loves? Not any one of them, but yaoi. I respect that.
I'll check that out.
Saramuna?
What is that?
Kiss Him Not Me, the pretty girl.
Is it pretty good?
Isn't that the girl that like at first nobody in her class looked at her, and then she took like a week or a day off of school, and then she came out really, really pretty out of nowhere?
Yep.
I've seen that. Like not the anime, but I've seen that first episode, and I'm like, what is going on?
It's a great show, dude. It's so funny, and it's one of those things. Like I know you're trying to wrap it up. I'm telling this real quick. Something I base good anime on, like really something that pulls me in, are the expressions. If you could do something so different with exaggerated expressions, that just looks like no other show. You know what I mean? That really, like, the way, like, JoJo stands out for many reasons, but JoJo stands out mainly because of their exaggerated, like, animations. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we all know it for, and it's, you know, it's incredible quotes, and poses, and everything else. But, like, if you could be a normal-ass anime and just do something so different, and not different in the sense where it's like, whoa, what the fuck am I looking at? Different in the sense where you're like, this is incredible! Like, the second you see it, you know? Like, they cash in every episode's, like, budget on just that, like, on just exaggerated animations. Like, they put all their work into that and then just make, like, a decent show overall, aside from... I don't care. You got to do something different with that stuff to really reel me in. And Kiss Him Not Me has beautifully exaggerated things. Like, the face changes and stuff like that are just top tier. Recommend. That is all.
No, I know for me, like, for the exaggerated, like, for the face things, I would have to say Vinland Saga is that for me. I love Vinland Saga. I think the story and the way, like, is it Dorfin? The way his face was when his father died, that hit hard. And then The Promised Neverland. The race scene with the gasoline. Yeah, or even with the first episode. Yeah, where you saw the girl get eaten and shit. Emma and Norman. I would have to say that.
I agree. I have goosebumps everywhere as proof. I agree. Or just on this arm, not on that arm. I don't know what's going on right now, but I don't think I ever got goosebumps on just one arm.
There you go. The first,
yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so yeah. I don't want to think about Norman, man. Oh man,
Rest in peace. All right. With that said, guys, we're gonna wrap it up before Gab says something else. Gab5.
Yes, too.
Yeah, you too. Where can people find you at, Gab? Because I personally think you're amazing, and I really wanted on this episode to have her do one of her rants. She has this thing on the stream where you build up loyalty points and you get it to do this 10-minute anime rants, and it is funny and is one of the most entertaining things I ever seen. But yeah, so where can people find you to see all that?
You could find me on Twitch most every night from midnight to through the late morning Eastern time. Sometimes a little earlier, sometimes a little later. Sometimes we go for 18 hours by accident. But I'll usually be on by like midnight, at latest like 1 a.m. or something like that Eastern. And then yeah, if you want to find me on Instagram, I am at GABFIVE, just Gab FIVE. And Twitter, because some little schmuck took my goddamn name in like 2009, I am at Gab_5, the number. And yeah, come follow me on Twitch. Come hang out with us. Deez is always there. It's a good time.
Always there. Yep. Go check her out. All her links will be in the show notes below, as well as me and Suna's. And Suna, would you like to say anything?
So she radiates such big dick energy, and just like you have like a really nice tone of like how you appreciate things, and like I really like that. I'll definitely be tuning in soon, and just hearing your take on stuff was really nice. I appreciate that you have very good taste in anime as well. I'll definitely be checking out some of this yaoi stuff. I've kind of steered away from it. Someone told me about Yuri on Ice, and I was like, but I might have to check that.
Yeah. I got a couple shows for you. Start with Given. Given's nice.
Given, all right, I'll definitely check that out. And you're making me want to go watch. What was the other show? You said it wasn't Given, was it?
Kiss Him Not Me.
Kiss Him Not Me. Yep, that one. I'll definitely have to check that out because I saw a snippet of it and I thought it was great. And I appreciate you stopping by here and having to share some of your POV on a lot of the stuff that I was wanting to get clarity on, and just giving your take on stuff, and just having overall like a really good positive attitude. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that you were here today. Thank you very much.
And thank you guys for having me. Thank you for talking to me. Thank you for listening to my spiels. Excuse me. Dude, like Jewish Brooklyn terminology is where it's at. Best slang anywhere. I'm telling you. But yeah. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for listening to all my stuff, and letting me talk about titty anime and hentai, and more titty anime and more hentai and then more titty anime and then yaoi. All things that I love dearly. So I appreciate it.
We couldn't get too explicit because we're trying to get sponsors, but
yeah, I tried to keep it nice.
There was a lot that I did want to say, but we'll save that for another time. Everybody, please go follow Gab. She's amazing, and bye, guys.
Bye.